Rain, rain, go away. That's what Sunrisers Hyderabad owner Kavya Maran would have been saying from the stands when Rain played spoilsport during their game against the Delhi Capitals last season. It was a game where Sunrisers Hyderabad dominated with the ball. Pat Cummins doing his magic, picking those 3 wickets in the power play overs, just breaking the back of Delhi's batting. And they were in a spot of bother before the rear guard act came from Ashutosh Sharma and Tristan Stubbs. But having said that, this was just that one-off game where Sunrisers Hyderabad actually played to their potential, because it has been a very, very disappointing season for last year's finalists, who definitely gave the other teams a template to follow, but they weren't able to follow the template which they set for themselves and for the other teams in the previous edition. The likes of Travis Head, Andre Klassen, Abhishek Sharma, Ishan Kishan, a lot was expected from them to take that trend forward in the ongoing edition, but the teams have come better prepared this time around. Those blazing starts which we have seen in the past were not quite there. Abhishek Sharma did play a couple of beautiful knocks, but consistency was missing from the Southpaw's bat. Now, even this side, they rejigged their bowling attack. They had someone like a Mohammad Shami coming in. Unatkat was again with them. But that whole missing feeling was still very much visible to the way they went about business in the ongoing edition. Pat Cummins also had a very stop-start kind of season. Last game he looked very good, but the experienced Australian captain, who has had that ability and that knack of delivering clutch performances at during big situations, that just wasn't quite there. So they did invest in youngsters. They did persist with someone like a Nitish Kumar Reddy. But Nitish Kumar Reddy also looked a very, very disappointing player in the ongoing edition of the Indian Premier League. What do they do next? I think they really need to get their bowling attack right, because batting, as far as batting is concerned, it was just an unfortunate season where the batters who have done the job for them in the past just didn't quite click. Ishan Kishan, their number 3 recruit from the IPL mega auction, he started off brilliantly with 100, but just tapered off after that, and the runs just didn't come off his bat. I think Travis Head would be one player who would be extremely disappointed with his outing in the Indian Premier League, because he sets high standards for himself both while playing in the IPL and the international circuit, but he wasn't at his consistent best. So they need to beef up that middle order, I would say. I think just get that number 3 and number 4 sorted, because Ishan Kishan, Nitish Kumar Reddy, Aniket Verma was there. He gave a glimpse of his talent with a couple of very, very good cameos, but then you would want players who would do that on a very consistent basis and give that support role to Andre Klassen, because a lot of heavy lifting has been done by Klassen. He has been amongst the runs, but those runs haven't come in a winning cause. So let's see what happens, but I think it is again going to be a very busy mini auction for the Sunrisers Hyderabad. They need to get their bowling attack right. They need to get a quality spinner in the ranks. That's our 2 wish list for Sunrisers Hyderabad. So hope they are listening. Hope the owner is listening, because every time the rain will not stay away.